So I'll start back from the start. We were a dental lab company here in Seattle, Washington. We started here in 1985 and we're a full service dental lab. We realized very early on that the dental lab world was going digital and that the clinicians would follow soon. So we got in with an incredible company, 3Shape, and have been distributing their software and hardware nationwide ever since 2009. So combining our laboratory experience with our independent support team here of 10 members, we're able to train and support 3Shape products from an entirely new perspective. So we'll just dive right in here. This is going to be an introductory TRIOS demonstration, but after this we're going to follow up with some more in-depth workflows with 3Shape and see it from the clinician standpoint all the way to the lab standpoint. This is my coworker Lila here. She's going to help us with this demonstration. And then towards the end we'll bring on Jack, one of our lead designers, who can talk about the advantages of the lab receiving these digital scans as compared to analog. If you have any questions throughout this, send them into the comments and we'll try and respond as quickly and thoroughly as possible. So I'll just dive right in here. This is the TRIOS 3 wireless pen grip right here. This is the pod configuration with high-performance gaming laptop right there. We can set this up on a custom cart solution so it fits in your practice. This is the most accurate, it's the fastest, it's one of the easiest to use, and it has the most amount of indications. You'll see right here, we don't have to dry the patient's mouth or do any special preparation. We can just go ahead and scan. So we'll say the TRIOS is an optical scanner. It's taking thousands of images simultaneously. That last scan there, we have metrics on the screen here that show us. This one took about 51 seconds to do a full arch scan. You'll see that scanning in true color, so we can actually take a shade measurement right from that scan, or your lab can. We can use the TRIOS wand in its gyroscope to manipulate the model, so we don't have to contaminate the laptop. We'll also see soft tissue, like some of the lips that I captured, or glove in that first part of the image will be automatically removed. From there, we can also take intraoral HD photos with the color TRIOS version. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And it'll overlay that HD photo over the 3D model that we just captured there. From there, I can go into the next portion of the scan. For a study model, we're going to do the lower arch, the upper arch, and then both bites from the right side to the left side. The TRIOS features an autoclavable tip, so we can remove this and just throw it right in the autoclave afterwards. We can also flip the tip around to the other orientation so it's facing upwards, so we have the same hand position here. We can see at any time I can let the patient relax, then the scanner will know where we left off. TRIOS is one of the few scanners that can capture edentulous areas. Obviously, our patient today is not edentulous, but I can capture the full palate as well in this scan. From there, we have the ability to instantly validate if we have thorough impression, given the indication. Small areas of missing data will show up in green on the scanner here. And if that's an area of concern, we can go back and add that data at any time. But if it's not, then we can ignore that and go ahead and send this across. So the last step for a study model here, since we did a full arch impression, we're going to take a byte registration from the right side and then move on to the left side. The TRIOS will make a noise letting us know that both sides of the arch have aligned. But even for cases where there's an edentulous posterior, we can capture enough gingiva in that byte scan. And if the scanner does not automatically align, we can go ahead and manually align them based on the data that we did capture. Let me turn it back real quick. So there we see for a full arch, lower and upper with byte registrations, we can take a full digital scan in about the time it takes one traditional impression to set in the patient's mouth. Obviously, it's a much more comfortable experience for your patient, but there's more detail and more information that your lab can rely on in this scan, which is another thing I want to touch on. 3Shape Communicate is a portal for how you can send these scans directly from your TRIOS scanner to your dental laboratory. It doesn't send through a clearinghouse or send to a third party. It sends directly across in about the time that it takes an email to send. We'll add your labs into your TRIOS software, and you can easily send those cases across. And then after you've sent those cases, you can communicate based on those scans. They're saved in the cloud. So any device, you can log into your 3Shape Communicate account, view these scans, and communicate with your laboratory or referring doctors. So now I'd like to bring in Jack, my lead designer here. As I mentioned, we have a unique perspective of our full service dental laboratory. So we're able to go through not just acquisition, but go from acquisition all the way to design and manufacturing. So Jack, what do you think TRIOS scans? What's the benefit from the lab perspective?
For the lab side, we already joined in like a CAD system for making a start with like a zirconia crown like a long time ago. Actually, when you start CAD/CAM work, really the first time we still work with a standard model, but the older scanner, especially 3Shape TRIOS, is really popular going on. And then the scanner always offers us really nice accuracies and an accurate color. And then actually, we don't have really enough time to explain all the functions and features there, but I do understand that TRIOS has some function before doctor sends the scan file to the lab. Doctor can check the clearance, doctor can check the direction, doctor can check the actual patient's tooth color shaded too. So every information comes with me, to me, like to the left side. And then if there is some issue on the chair side, doctor always can check, get the clearance, like a preparation clearance, and then direction. If something wrong, can go back anytime, any spot. Doctor can just fix it and send us. So we can have always like a really, already really prepared. You don't have to do any like extra work for some time, like the preparation, more reductions, and then sometimes we have to fix that something bite, but everything fixed and then perfectly done in the chair side, and then doctor can send the final scan part to us.
Right.
Always we kind of nice one.
Yeah, with TRIOS, you're instantly validating your impressions as you're taking them. As Jack mentioned, if we see any error in the scan or missing data, we can go right back in and add it. We don't have to wait for that stone model to pour up. We're not wrapping this impression up in wet paper towel and sitting it by our sink. So that integrity is maintained. This is a first generation scan rather than taking an impression, pouring up that impression, scanning that impression in your laboratory software. You're on the third generation. Another thing that Jack mentioned is 3Shape. They're literally constantly coming out with new software upgrades. So you're not just buying a scanner for today, you're investing in the future with 3Shape. Some really cool new features coming out are the ability to scan patient excursion. So that'll be another scan here. We'll take lower, upper, and then bite, and then we'll scan the patient's specific motion of their jaw. So rather than Jack using an articulator or virtually articulating in the 3Shape software, we'll have the patient's true articulation for the final design of the restoration.
Yeah, it's a really big, great feature for, especially for care about the like long bridges or full arch restoration. Although we have some like a little limitation with a CAD design to do like doing like a work at the patient jaw, we have virtual articulation function in the design software. But if we can have a patient actual excursion and the jaw movement, is going to be a great feature to creating or fabricating like a model this crowns or something like a full arch restoration. It will be a good feature. Always, I'm really waiting for that. So I hope I can see that feature soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'd like to open it up to any questions now, if there are any there. And if not, as I mentioned before, this is just the first of many Facebook Live events to come. If you guys want to leave any comments of what you want to see in the future, if you want to see where we go from this digital scan to the digital design with Jack, whether it be for crown and bridge case, an implant, a restoration, a guided implant surgery, an orthodontic case, bar design, we do, like I said, full service, all the way from the CAD to CAM here. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining us today, and we look forward to the next one.